Day 2 of India Energy Week is underway in New Delhi with 120 nations participating in the 4-day event. My colleague Manisha is standing by with highlights so far. Manisha, over to you.
Well, it's day 2 at India Energy Week, and we are looking at a lot of enthusiasm continuing here. And in the last 24 hours, there have been a lot of conversations, one especially on the crude oil availability. With all these sanctions and restrictions and geopolitical tensions, one thing is clear, that there is no shortage of crude oil, because there are more and more countries now producing more, especially with the US going on the drill baby drill phenomena. You are going to perhaps be looking at much higher crude production. For India, the sources have now increased to 39 countries from where we take crude, and this is what Minister Puri has been constantly telling us, that there is no shortage, there is availability. Affordability is something that they seem to be working at this point in time. Also, India's oil and gas mix now seems to be improving much better than where we were 5 years ago, and that is a plus that various global ministers and global CEOs now seem to be talking about. The other thing has been about India's clean energy commitment and strategies towards that. Well, we have seen various statements from various ministerial panels yesterday suggesting that India perhaps could be taking lead in this. The way we have been working on gas and LNG and ethanol blending and hydrogen, and the conversation around nuclear was also much on the higher side. Much of electricity production, especially in the global markets, will now come from nuclear in 2025. India really seems to be climbing those stairs at this point in time. The other thing is about 20% ethanol blending. While we already have done 19% in the previous month itself, and expectations that you could be looking at a 20% in the month of Feb or March for that matter, the major question that arises is, what after 20% blending? Are we talking about E20 and E30 and E40 beyond that? So we understand, and we hear from ministers here, that yes, there is a framework, there is a committee that is committed to talk about 20% and beyond, and there also is conversations about whether on petrol pumps would you see different prices for petrol and diesel and ethanol going forward, because the taxation is different for these differential prices. So various conversations continuing here on day 2 as well at India Energy Week.
Okay, all right, Manisha, thank you very much for that. We do have to take a break on that note, come back on the other side.